Hundreds of asylum seekers are crossing the border from the UK into Ireland to avoid being deported to Rwanda. Ken Murray reports from Dublin.
Europe Day was celebrated in Kiev by the President of the European Parliament.
I was supposed to stay in UK, but there was a Rwanda plan problem, which is very difficult for migrants to accept that, and which is very fearful for every asylum. So I just came to Ireland. They tell us we don't have any accommodation for the moment, so we will just wait that. So they don't know when they will provide us accommodation. So at the moment we just stay in the tents.
Well, it's entirely academic in circumstances where the United Kingdom have said that they won't take people back unless France also takes people back from the United Kingdom. I mean, it's certainly workable to fix the flaws in the legislation that were identified by the Irish High Court, but it's academic if nobody's going to be transferred, which is the current situation.
The Irish Prime Minister said scenes like this would never happen again, but they have. The problem now for the Irish government is that once these tents are cleared and these refugees are housed, the next influx of asylum seekers will only be 24 hours away. This looks like a problem that shows no sign of going away. This is Ken Murray for Euronews in Dublin.
Europe Day was celebrated in Kiev by the President of the European Parliament. In her speech at the International Summit for Cities and Regions, Roberta Metsola spoke about her promise to make Ukraine a full-fledged member of the EU.
The European Union and the European Parliament stand ready to help. We will come back from this together, because Ukraine is Europe and Europe is Ukraine, and that is our partnership for victory. Slava Ukraini.
More than 250 representatives from Ukrainian and foreign communities participated in the summit with the goal of guaranteeing peace and security.
Кожен з вас бачить, що Путін прийшов на нашу землю так само, як Гітлер йшов на землі інших народів. Злочинно, неспровоковано і абсолютно потворно. На жаль, так само це може статись і з нашими народами. Тому наша з вами взаємодопомога – це робота. Щоб не тільки один цей агресор програв, а щоб саме ідея будь-якої війни у Європі знов була розбита.
Happy to see you.
Раді бачити вас. Дуже вам дякую.
Croatia's ruling Croatian Democratic Union will form a coalition with the far-right Homeland movement.
Danas smo imali još jedan krug razgovora između Hrvatske demokratske zajednice i Domovinskog pokreta. Dogovorili smo partnerstvo u kontekstu kreiranja nove parlamentarne većine rekli da je demografija ključno pitanje i demografska revitalizacija opstanka hrvatskog naroda, naše budućnosti, konkurentnosti i rada, ali i opstanka cijele nacije i zato smo jedni od prvih na razini Europske unije koji uvode ministarstvo upravo za demografiju.
The Homeland Movement, also known as DP, has previously campaigned for anti-abortion and nationalist issues, but is in support of the European Union and Ukraine in its war against Russia. As European Union institutions mark the bloc's embryonic founding with Europe Day, they are also preparing themselves for the 2024 EU elections, which are less than 4 weeks away. The EU's achievements were celebrated in member state capitals 74 years after French Foreign Minister Robert Schuman's historic speech that led to the political and economic union's founding. Citizens were invited to visit EU institutions to celebrate, with European parliaments in Brussels, Strasbourg and Luxembourg opening their doors to the public. Outside of Brussels' European Parliament, 18-year-old German Carlo Walter says all young people should vote.
Mir ist es wichtig, dass ich wählen kann, weil wir sind ja, also die jungen Leute, ich und meine Generation sind ja immerhin die Zukunft Europas. Und dann zählt unsere Meinung ja für das, was in der Zukunft passieren
The
soll.
election could be one of the most consequential in history, shaped by the war in Ukraine, climate emergencies and fundamental questions of the bloc itself. Inside European Parliament, Italian MEP Nicola Procaccini says the current composition of the European Parliament swings too far left, and the upcoming elections could redistribute the scales.
What I would like to see, obviously something new, something different. A new balance in the parliament, because for now is too on the left. So I would like to see this balance moving to the right, and I think this is possible because if I look at the polls all over Europe, more or less I can see always the same scenario. The center-right movements are going forward.
Former Belgian Prime Minister and outgoing MEP Guy Verhofstadt believes results at the ballot box could determine more than just the Parliament's political makeup.
I think it will be an existential fight against those who want less Europe, and then those political forces who understand that in the world of tomorrow you need a far more integrated European Union to defend the interests of the Europeans in this new brutal world of tomorrow.
EU elections will take place next month.
Russia got its usual patriotic pageantry underway for Victory Day, a celebration of its defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. The event has become a pillar of President Vladimir Putin's nearly quarter of a century in power. The Kremlin leader, who began his fifth term only 2 days ago, threatened the West with Russia's military readiness.
Это часть общей политики западных элит по разжиганию все новых региональных конфликтов, межнациональной и межрелигиозной вражды, по сдерживанию суверенных, независимых центров мирового развития.
Victory Day serves as a display of Russia's military might. About 9,000 troops, including hundreds that fought in Ukraine, took part this year. Columns of tanks and missiles rolled across the Red Square, with squadrons of fighter jets roaring overhead. Following the parade, Putin laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier and honored the fallen with a minute of silence. He was joined by several heads of foreign states, Belarus, Cuba, Guinea-Bissau and Kazakhstan, among others. Even though only a few Russian World War II veterans are still alive, the victory over Germany is still one of the most important symbols of Russia's national identity.
Authorities are on full alert following heightened tensions leading up to this year's Eurovision semi-final. The competition continues to be overshadowed by protests against Israel's participation. There have been calls for Israel to be excluded because of its conduct during the war against Hamas.
The last song was Electra's Banner.
Just nu mördas folk i Rafah och samtidigt så ska vi ha en artist som sjunger för Israel. Det är orättvist.
Tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters could be seen gathering outside the venue. Israel's representative, 20-year-old Eden Golan, was reportedly confirmed to her hotel room while she isn't performing due to heightened security concerns.
Well, personally, I haven't. It hasn't affected me in any way. I have a great security team here with me, and I feel like people have the right to say what they want to, but I'm focusing on the good.
The Israeli singer was forced to change the title of her song, originally called October Rain, in apparent reference to Hamas's October 7th attack. Palestinian flags were banned at the venue after Sweden's contestant Erik Saade, whose father is of Palestinian origin, wore a traditional Middle Eastern scarf during his opening performance. The scarf has become an international symbol of pro-Palestinian sentiment. The competition's final will take place this Saturday.
Euronews. The news